Shalom, shalom, kulam. Baruch haba, Beshem Yahweh. Shalom to the AASH-Beney Yisrael family. This is AASH-Beney Yehuda, the founder, the creator of AASH-Beney Yisrael. So tonight, what we're going to get into, I'm going to go into defining AASH-Beney Yisrael. Just go over some quick slides. We'll go into it. Hold on one second. All right, here we go. So we're going to, three things we're going to go over. We're going to go over Afro-Asiatic, Shemitic, and Hebrew. What does it mean? I'm pretty sure most people know what it means, but we're just going to go into it, okay? All right. So we have AASH. And Hebrew is read from right to left, B'nai Yisrael. So defining AASH, Afro-Asiatic, Shemitic, Hebrew, B'nai Yisrael by AASH-Beney Yehuda. Let's go. And that's the logo. You see, you got the B'nai Yisrael, the AASH, you have the maroon and gold, you have the menorah for the light, you have, the outline of Israel, you have Yisrael. This right here is Yod, Shin, Resh, Aleph, Lamet. This is Yisrael, and this reflects the Torah. So we got to be the light. We have the law, statutes, and commandments, the Torah, and we are AASH-Beney Israel. All right, let's get started. Now, defining AASH-Beney Israel. What does AASH stand for? So what does AASH? What does AASH stand for? It stands for Afro-Asiatic Shemitic Hebrew. And in parentheses, I put AASH or AASH. So when you hear me say AASH going forward, that's the shortened way to say, that means Afro-Asiatic Shemitic Hebrew. So I don't have to keep saying Afro-Asiatic Shemitic Hebrew. We know now that AASH means Afro-Asiatic Shemitic Hebrew. Okay? All right. Now, what does these characters? This is Beit, this is Noon, this is Yod. This is Yod, this is Shin, this is Resh, this is Aleph, and this is Lamet. And we read Hebrew from right to left. So this is B'nai, and then this is Yisrael. So get used to looking at those Hebrew characters as well. Because I'm just going to put, like you see up front, AASH, which is Afro-Asiatic Shemitic Hebrew, B'nai Yisrael. Now, what does this character stand for? B'nai Yisrael. It stands for B'nai, means children in Hebrew, and then Yisrael, it starts with most I letters or J letters starts with a Y. So Israel is Yisrael and Jerusalem is Yerushalayim. So it's the Y. So Yisrael is Israel. So B'nai Yisrael is children of Israel. Okay. And this is how we would spell it out in English. So if you ever see B'nai Israel, Beney, Yisrael, B'nai Israel, that's what it stands for. So if you see it in the Hebrew or if you see it in the English, AASH-Beney Israel. And again, that means children of Israel. All right, all together. What does AASH-Beney Israel stand for? Again, AASH stands for Afro-Asiatic Shemitic Hebrew. The Hebrew characters, B'nai Israel, means children of Israel. So you're going to see it like this. AASH-Beney Israel. To break it all the way down, it'd be Afro-Asiatic, Shemitic Hebrew, children of Israel. All right. So like I said, you might see it in a different form. So you might see it this way. A lot of the times I might have it this way. Sometimes I might have it this way, but I'm not going to have it long like this. So we're going to define Afro-Asiatic, Shemitic, and Hebrew. Let's go into that. What does Afro-Asiatic stand for? The definition of Afro-Asiatic, relating to or denoting a family of languages spoken in the Middle East and North Africa. The family is commonly divided into 5 groups. Semitic or Shemitic, Ometic, Berber, Cushitic, and Chadic. Ancient Egyptian was also a member of this family. So as you can see, you see the Middle East, and you see Africa. So all of this is Afro-Asiatic. And just a quick note, The Garden of Eden is right there. You see right there by the Iraq-Iran-Kuwait border. And it stretched from the river Euphrates to the great river Nile. So this portion right here was the portion that was considered the Garden of Eden. This also portion was considered the inhabitant, considered the promise for Abraham. And guess what? This area right here is really biblical Israel, the biblical borders of Israel. So you got Adam, you got Abraham, and you got Israel. And you see it's going into Africa. And Israel sits on the African tectonic plate. So going forth, we should never be saying, oh, you know, Israel, you're not African. No, Israel is, we're actually Northeast Africans, to be exact. I just wanted to point that out. Now, here is the sixth breakdown. You have Berber, Chadic, Cushitic, Ometic, Shemitic, Egyptian, right? And you see Berber, you see what you have here. Y'all can check that out. You see Chadic, they have Nigeria, Chad. Over here they have Niger, Egypt. You got Cushitic. Look, you got Eastern Cushitic, right? You got the Somalis, Afar, the Oromos, right? They're there. So they're Afro-Asiatic, Eastern Cushitic. So remember when it said Moses, he had a Cushite wife? His wife could have been from Somalia or Oromia or Afar. So that means that would have been our family. You get what I'm saying? So East Africans, that's our continent, but definitely we're Northeast Africans. So East Africans, that's our family. We married them. That's our family. That's our neighbors. So we need to start looking at it like that, okay? You see Semitic, you know, Semitic. Israel, we're central. Hebrew and Israel, we're central. And then Southern Shemitic, you have Ethiopia, you have Yemen, Eritrea, you have Tigray, Ge'ez, and then you have the Coptic, but then you got Egypt. And as you see the arrows, we're Afro-Asiatic, Shemitic, Hebrew, B'nai Yisrael, the children of Israel. So you even see Israel is there. So that's why we're using these terms. AASH, why are we using AASH? Just to kick it off early. AASH, Afro-Asiatic, Shemitic, Hebrew. It's on this chart. All right. Now, what does Shemitic and Semitic stand for? So Shemitic, right? Shemitic is one, languages, another word for Semitic. And remember, Noah had three sons, Ham, Shem, and Japheth. So the reason why we say Shemitic, because we're representing Noah's son, Shem. And Afro-Asiatic is Ham and Shem, which is 2/3 of Noah's sons. The other son is Japheth. He represents the Indo-Europeans, the Europeans, the Caucasians, the Gentiles. But Ham and Shem, we had a very close relationship. We looked alike. We was melanated, you know. All right. And it also says people. So Shemitic, you have Shemitic peoples. Because see, remember, a language has to be spoken in order for it to live. It has to be spoken and possessed and known by a people. You can't just have a language. Who's going to speak it? What? It's in the air? Like, come on now. So when we say the Shemitic language, you have to, common sense, say the Shemitic people. Because who's speaking the language? What human beings are speaking the language? Would you be from Germany speaking Ethiopian? No, because if you're German, you're speaking the German language. That's who you are. If you're Ethiopian, you're speaking the Ethiopian language, the Amharic or Oromo or Afar or whatever language you're from. All right. Semitic. That means relating to or denoting, but hold on. But remember, Shemitic is another word for Semitic. So even though you may see Semitic, using Shemitic is actually appropriate as well. And that really lets you know that we're from the son, Noah's son, Shem. So we're going to use Afro-Asiatic Shemitic Hebrew so it can be clear. All right, Semitic. Relating to or denoting a family of languages that includes Hebrew, Arabic, and Aramaic, and certain ancient languages such as Phoenician, Akkadian, constituting the main subgroup of the Afro-Asiatic family. And then in this one, it says relating to the peoples who speak Semitic languages, especially Hebrew and Arabic. So we know Hebrew and Arabic are Shemitic languages. Hebrew and Arabic are Northeast African languages. Hebrew and Arabic are African, Shemitic African languages. And as you see over here, you see Semitic, you see all the different groups, the different people, you know, you have Southern Semitic, you have Ge'ez, the language, you have Amharic, Tigray, right? They're Southern Shemitic. You see the Hebrews, right? We're Central Semitic. I love this chart. What does Hebrew stand for? Now, let me say something. You know what's crazy? I've been looking like, and the funny thing about it, I know this is from an older dictionary. If somebody knows, they can let me know. I can actually specifically find out this, but we know that nobody just make this up and write this up. This is more of an ancient, and it says Afro-Asiatic in this, right? But if you look online and you look up some of the newer definitions, like I guess they updated, they're not saying Afro-Asiatic for some reason. They're bringing that out. See, let's read the original. It says Hebrew, right? Hebrew, a member of the Semitic people or Shemitic people, inhabiting ancient Palestine and claiming descent from Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Israelite, a Semitic language of the Afro-Asiatic family, the language of the ancient Hebrews, now the national language of Israel, Afro, a thick hairstyle with very tight curls that sticks out all around the head like the natural hair of some Black people, right? Origin 1930s, independent uses of Afro, or abbreviation of African. Now let's look at this. Hebrew, a member of the ancient people living in what is now Israel and Palestine, and according to biblical traditions, descended from the patriarch Jacob, grandson of Abraham. After the Exodus 13 BC, they established the kingdoms of Israel and Judah, and their scriptures and traditions form the basis of the Jewish religion. And then here it says dated, offensive. What? That don't make sense. Old-fashioned and sometimes offensive term for Jew. But remember, the Bible is based upon the Hebrews. That doesn't make sense because, you know what I'm saying? Like, why would you be offended of your own self? So I don't know why they put that there. And then it says the Semitic language of the Hebrews in its ancient or modern form of the Hebrews or the Jews. All right. Now, what does Israelite stand for? Israelite is a descendant of the Hebrew patriarch Jacob, specifically a native or inhabitant of the ancient northern kingdom of Israel. As you see, that's Jacob. Now, it starts with Abraham. It brings you down from Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, the 12 tribes of Israel. They're showing you the children, the wives, and all that. So y'all can look at the chart, study the chart. All right. Now, again, we have Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and the 12 tribes of Israel. All right. Again, Afro-Asiatic and Shemitic and Hebrew definition. And the reason why we proclaim and say Afro-Asiatic, Shemitic, Hebrew, you can find it in the dictionary. These terms that I'm saying, Afro-Asiatic, Shemitic, Hebrew, it's in the dictionary. We see the definition of Hebrew. We see Afro-Asiatic. We see Semitic, Shemitic. And Afro-Asiatic, a lot of people that go to college, a lot of people that are scholars, you know, that's a very good term. Like when you say Afro-Asiatic, you know that's talking about melanated people. And then you see the map, you see how wide it goes. It's like half of Africa. It's like Upper Africa, all of the Middle East, and half of Africa. So, you know, when you say Afro-Asiatic, you know that that's talking about people of melanin. You know what I'm saying? Melanated people, people of African descent. So Afro-Asiatic Hebrews are Afro-Asiatic people, and Afro-Asiatic people are Shemitic Africans. We're not Europeans. Okay? All right. Now, again, why do we use AASH-Beni Israel of African descent? First, AASH is in the dictionary. I just showed you that, right? Again, Hebrew, Afro-Asiatic, Shemitic. Two, now, the phrase B'nai Israel, when I show you that, right? B'nai Israel is in the Torah and the scriptures in Exodus or Shemot 1:1, right? You see B'nai Israel is right there. And these are the names of the children of Yisrael who came to Mitzrayim with Yaakov, each one with his household. So you see Bnei Yisrael, it's right there. See, the same thing. And then African descent is recognized by the UN, by the United Nations, the so-called blacks, African Americans, people of the transatlantic slave trade. So for us, you know, what our total official name would be AASH-Beni Israel of African descent. That's what I'm going to start proclaiming myself as. I won't proclaim myself as black or African American or Negro, or especially not an offensive like the N-word, like Negro or nigger or nigga, none of that. We're not doing none of that. So all we're going to do, we're going to proclaim ourselves as AASH-Beni Israel for short, right? For a quick reference, we're AASH-Beni Israel. But for the long official, like on record, we're AASH-Beni Israel of African descent. So I just want us to get comfortable with this, okay? Again, you see the chart. You see that Afro-Asiatic, Shemitic, Semitic, Israel, Hebrew, okay? All right, and then so again, our official proclamation, declaration is AASH-Beni Israel, AASH-Beni Israel. The reason, you know, Afro-Asiatic, Semitic, Shemitic, you know, Hebrew, and then you have Israel. And then again, in the definition, you have Hebrew, Afro-Asiatic, Shemitic. All right, so we define ourselves proclaim, because we're proclaiming, but also reclaiming our heritage, right? Reclaim ourselves as AASH-Beni Israel. AASH-Beni Israel of Northeast African descent, right? So that's Uziyahu Ben Yehuda. That's me. I'm the creator, the founder, and the spearheader of AASH-Beni Israel. You know, this will be official for those who see the video. This will be official November 30th, 2020. So, you know, so my call to action here, let me go back here. So my call to action is, I just want those who agree, you know, many may not agree, but some people this might be something that may speak to their mind, speak to their spirit, speak to their energy. Like, yo, this is what I've been looking for, you know? I feel like I'm a part of the continent of Africa. You know what I'm saying? I view myself, I proclaim myself as African, but I'm an Israelite. But, you know, so this is a way, from my understanding from, you know, this is a way that we can, I hope that many are inspired. Y'all can communicate with me. Let's do it. You know, AASH-Beni Israel. For short, officially, you know, by the UN, by the world, we will be officially known as AASH-Beni Israel of African descent. I think that sums up and it brings clarity of who we are, because AASH is in the dictionary, Bnei Israel is in the Torah, and even the UN understands us as African descent. So when you bring it all together, AASH-Beni Israel of African descent. Now, what I'm gonna need you all to do is this. With this video, like the video, right? Like the video. Subscribe to the channel. Let's get these numbers up. Subscribe, like, hit the notification bell. Because you can say this is like my first video. I know I've done other videos, but we're gonna start it here. We're gonna kick it off here as AASH-Beni Israel. I've spoken to some people in private. They're excited about it. They're feeling it. I spoke to some elders. I spoke to my peers. I spoke to different people. I even spoke to some of my African friends. They're like, yo, bro, that's real. Like, yeah, AASH-Beni Israel. That's what it is. So hallelujah. So I hope, you know, that this helps out. You know what I'm saying? I hope that y'all can be inspired by this. Okay? All right. Hold on 1 second. Yeah, so I hope, you know, I hope y'all feeling this. AASH-Beni Israel. So, shalom, shalom. Shalom, family. All right. So again, AASH-Beni Israel. You see it right there, right? AASH, AASH-Beni Israel. And you can also go to the website. So I'm gonna try to work the website. I'm gonna try to make some AASH-Beney Yisrael gear, you know, some with the glitter gold. I'm gonna try to get some shirts, screen printed. The colors will be maroon and gold. And as you see, I have the flag here. I have this flag, the red, black, and green. I was speaking to the elder, right? Because I was trying to have this as the official flag, but the elder was telling me that this is the flag when we woke up from 70 AD, right? So this is our waking up flag when we woke up, you know, red, black, and green, that's known for the African-American color. So it's letting our people who may not be awake to know that we are you, you are us, but let's evolve. Let's take it to the next step of, you see, the menorah, we got to be the light. We got to be positive. You see, we got the Shema. Some people, you know, we say Yahweh. Some people say Yahuwah. And some people know it's Yah. And we cool with that. If you say, you know, I want us to be comfortable. If we say Yahweh, we should be comfortable with that. You say Yahuwah, you know, you say Yah. But what we need to do when we all come together, let's just have, if, you know, for us to be one, we can just say Yah. You get what I'm saying? You know, we don't have a problem with that. So we're trying to work with our people. We're trying to inspire our people. But this flag right here, the red, the purple, and the blue, this is our official flag, right? When all said and done, we're going to rep this because it lets you know who we are today. But we also repping this because, see, these are the colors of our ancestors. You know, in 1446 BC in the temple, the tabernacle, these was the colors that we had. So these colors represent the Kodesh. It represents the holiness, right? And when I think of these colors, I think of Moses. I think of all of our ancestors that paved the way from 1446 to 70 AD. You know what I'm saying? The birth of our nation. So that's what that represents. But remember, we got exiled. We got kicked out. We was just in the earth roaming around. This represents today. This represents us waking up out of the slumber today, right? You know, and I'm gonna also have a maroon and gold banner that is gonna say AASH. It's gonna say AASH, but it's gonna say this. You're gonna see the AASH. You're gonna see the B'nai Israel. You're gonna see this with that, and then you're gonna see the B'nai Israel. So those are the three things I'm gonna have, like the three. So this is our diaspora flag for us today. It's kind of like the signal, letting people know, hey, we with you. You know what I'm saying? And in the end result, this is our official flag. The ultimate official flag. This color, the red, purple, and blue, gold, white. You know what I'm saying? But what I did was I have the seal on both. I have the Shema. You see, I have the Shema. I have this style, and I also have, like, it's more of a glossy style. Can you go get the small one? I think it's in. Can you get the small? I just want to show them that one too. Yeah. So, man, again, I hope you all like, you know, again, I hope you all like the AASH-B'nei Israel. That's what we're going to. So going forth, that's what we're going to be calling ourselves, AASH-B'nei Israel. And see, y'all see this one. See with these, with these, I can get like the handheld. You know what I'm saying? I can get more the handheld, right? I can get the ones that you can put in your car. So I'm gonna be ordering. You know, different flags. They, you know, they have different designs. You got this. You know, we got these. So, you know, I'm gonna be working on that. Okay. But man, let me know what y'all think. Hopefully this was edifying for you all. Hopefully this helped y'all. So going forth, let us get comfortable. My goal is I want to inspire our people, so we can all, it's not just about me, it's us. So it's not me trying to take, if you have a Knesset, if you have a camp, I'm not trying to take over nothing. We're AASH-B'nei Israel. You know what I'm saying? So you know, and one thing I want to give 2 shouts out. I want to give a shout out to Brother Ron Shields, Divine Prospect, and Kingdom Harvester Ministry. They've been holding it down. I had the pleasure of meeting that brother, I think it was 1 year, 2 years ago in Atlanta. Beautiful, support him. So go to Kingdom Harbinger Ministries, check them out. If you're in your city, in your state, if you have Hebrews, and you know, contact him and he can set up a chapter in your city. And I also want to give a shout out to Brother Zion Lex. He also understands the red, black, and green. He's been holding it down with the scholarship. So those are 2 brothers. And then just to my nation overall, you know what I'm saying? But I just want us to move a little bit different, because I have different friends in different walks of life, different backgrounds. And you know, I just think I was inspired, and I want to offer this to you all, the AASH-B'nai Israel, because I was just thinking like, man, what can we say that we all can come under? Actually, I wanted us to, you know, I'm not going to do anything on the census or whatever. I just want us to have a unified recognition. We might have different camps and congregations and Knesset's and whatever, but we are a nation, you know, AASH-B'nai Israel of African descent. So for those who have that spirit, share that. I invite you, get in contact with me, you know. So I'm Uziyahu Ben Yehuda on Facebook. You can go to the website, subscribe to the channel, please. So yeah, subscribe to the channel, like, press the notification bell. We about to get this thing moving. And then soon I'm gonna start giving some trying to do interviews, and you know, this is just the beginning. Also, I want to give a shout out to my brother Nabatiyahu for holding it down. I spoke with him. He's another brother that feels AASH-B'nai Israel. You know what I'm saying? And I want to give him a shout out. But also, I want to also give a shout out to my elders, Elder Tamim, also Elder Shlomo. You know, I want to give them a shout out. Support what they're doing as well. One Eden. We're trying to connect. Oh, let me give a shout out to my Ghanaian family. You got Danny, you got Isaac, you got my other elder, Elliot. Man, look, I can't shout out everybody, but y'all know it's love. You know what I'm saying? Brother Shimon Kafer, you know, to my family, the Davis family, Washington family, the whole AASH-B'nai Israel family. So let's move forward with it, all right? Much love. Shalom.